see, in the corporation, if you don't cancel a car, it continues to the development and engineering and parts released for the following year. And that's what happened, and that's why drawings were done like this original print from Fisher Body for the 1970 Corvair, which was basically identical to the 69. But see, the parts, individual parts, you had to have an engineering release, an ECR, engineering change release. So the parts had to be released so the car could go into production, and no decision, formal decision, to cancel Corvair production had come down until March of 69. And this was dated, November of 68? Late in 68, I think.
December 6th, 68.
Yeah, 68.
Yeah.
And there was going to be no convertible for the 70 Corvair. But the plans continued and the parts were released as if it was going to be built, even though it was common knowledge that there wouldn't really be a 70.
And even though in 1964 the decision was made to
64,
phase
December
out the
64.
Corvair.
But the Corvair lingered longer than they had figured
Right.
it would.
So for 1970, do we know what they would have come up with if the Corvair was left in production?
The only thing we know for sure, I mean, it was never fully intended. They were just releasing the 69 parts as 70 parts. Now, 69, they got government approval not to do the steering column interlock with the shift lever, because it would have been very expensive to do that on the Corvair.
Sure.
And if we're just building 6,000 cars, they got an exemption. They didn't have, but by 70, they probably would have had to do that.
Yeah.
And which would have killed the whole thing then and there. But we do know that they had released Viton O-rings, and that they weren't going to build a convertible in 70, but there weren't there wasn't anything else concrete or changes that we know of, because it was really a non-car that everybody knew wasn't going to exist. But since no one had formally decided to cancel it, it just soldiered on and the parts were released, and that happened all through General Motors. That's just the way the corporation worked. The final parts to be released, they all had to be individual canceled. Each ECR had to be canceled specifically, and this letter, interorganizational letter here, shows that in June of 69 they had finally canceled the last of the 1970 Corvair parts. That takes the wheel.
That's a month after the Corvair
to turn.
Went out of production. Over a month later.
Right.
The last Corvair was on May 14th. This is June 27th.
Right.
The official word, we're not going to do a 1970
so
Corvair.
In effect, that was really the day the Corvair ended, when then there was no more parts being released for a 70 Corvair. But Pete Estes still had other ideas.
Yeah.
And he was general manager until January 69 when DeLorean took over. But Pete wanted to do a third generation Corvair for 1970. Not like the production one, which was soldiering on with parts being released. But he wanted to do XP 892.
XP 892. Ooh.
And this book was handmade for Pete in styling. And I got it from the family. And it would have been essentially a reskinned 68 Corvair. I'm going to get to the first page here with all these. It showed a 68 500 at the bottom. And the new third generation XP 892, it was ingenious because it was the same. This is the body crease line here. Not the belt line is at the bottom of the windows, but the crease line is along the side of the body. Okay, and it was the.
Let's try it this way.
Okay, let me get
Here's the crease line.
Yeah, it was essentially the same as the 68 and 9
from here
Corvair.
below.
From the crease line down. Now the cowl under the windshield area and the firewall in front of the engine, that part was all the same. But all the skin from the crease line up was new. And it was really a pleasant design. The roofline predicted the 73 A-body colonnade style roofline. You'll see it better in this picture here.
There's the side view with the colonnade style B pillar.
But there was no interest in the corporation on building a third generation Corvair, and the Camaro was destined to be redesigned as a 70 and a half.
Oh yeah, the new Camaro came out in April of 70.
And these cars would have been direct competition for each other on the showroom floor, and the car wasn't needed.
Yeah, there's no niche.
There was no need for this, and the Camaro, of course, was bound to continue as a 70 and a half model. So this didn't get anywhere. This is actually a clay model, and they cover it with Dynoc film, which is the same film they used on wood grain wagons. Mm-hmm. Very thin film, and they put it over the clay to make it look more like a real car. Yeah. And that's as far as the design ever got. Mm-hmm. That's the closest to the third generation Corvair we ever had, and it would have been a marvelous car for us to cherish today, but it didn't last.